All right, back to me. So, what are your thoughts?
Severine.
What are your thoughts about these cursed films that we've had out there, like The Exorcist, The Omen, Poltergeist, etc.?
Go ahead, Kirk. I'll let you.
Yeah. So cursed films. So, I think a lot of this, because you notice a lot of these cursed films were like in the 80s, right? So
70s too.
Yeah. 70s. I think a lot of it was rumors and marketing that just the studios kind of let fly, and it was like self-marketing itself. Now, some shit happened, like the girl died from poltergeist later, but that was like years later. So they're trying to tie back some of these things. Like 2 years later, she made like 2 more films.
She died
like
after that. She died during the third, I think.
The third movie,
Yeah.
but the first one was considered cursed. That's my point.
Yeah.
Like they kind of pushed these cursed movies to market themselves.
Yeah.
Now I just don't think it's real. I don't know. It's like remember back in like the 60s and 70s, it'd be like, here's a body bag when you go into, or a barf bag when you go into this. It's the same type of viral marketing.
Yeah, So there's a really good series on Shudder, and it's called, Cursed Films, and I think there's 3 seasons, and maybe each season has like 5. I think it's 2 actually, 2 seasons, and I think each has 5 or 6 movies in it. And yeah, it's all older movies, and this is what I think. I don't believe it in any of that stuff. I believe that people probably die on sets all the time. You just don't hear about it as much, or back then.
Ben-Hur.
Back then, I will say,
Like 10 people died for Ben-Hur.
I don't think people die as much on set nowadays, but I think in the past, in the 80s and in the 70s and probably in the 60s and 50s, a lot of people died on sets. But to Kirk's point, I think it was like, oh man, this is bad. And then, somebody's genius in the office is going, oh, this movie, it's so scary. People are dying,
I mean, they say that The Exorcist is cursed because Linda Blair hurt her back and her mom hurt her back. That was one of the big pointing tos that The Exorcist was cursed.
Well, The Omen, I think, was like a big one that they were pointing to.
The Omen.
But I think it was how people died in that one, that some of the people died in ways that they almost like died towards the film or whatever. But I think there is such thing in the world as coincidence, and
well, you see it in conspiracy theorists all the time. They tie together conspiracy theories and come to a conclusion.
Yeah, it's Jay. What do you think?
I agree to disagree. Personally,
well, you want it to be true, and I'm the same way. I want it to.
No,
be
it's
true.
not so much that I want it to be true. It's just I think that some of the stuff that happened during some of these movies, obviously, I think could have been based off of the movie that they're filming. More The Omen than anything else. I mean, Poltergeist. I mean, it's just weird that people are dying on the set, but then you look back and you're like, well, you know what? People were dying on The Wizard of Oz too. So I mean, it's just
cursed.
But that's not actually true. The Wizard of Oz, no one died. That was a peacock in the background.
Yeah,
that was not a dwarf hanging.
Well, that's not what I was talking about. I think somebody actually did die on the set, like one of the Munchkins or something. But I don't know.
Yeah,
to be
I'll have to
argued
Google
another day.
that one.
To be